Welcome, and thank you for joining us for another gripping episode of Dread Captures. Today's journey is set to be an electrifying blend of thrills, chills, and the kind of scares that will have you on the edge of your seat. We're here to inject a dose of excitement with spine-tingling clips that promise to thrill and excite. We are humbled and value your time here with us, so without further delay, let's get into the captures. This is an incredible video taken in the dead of winter, and it is probably one of the most unusual fights I've ever seen. It's pretty easy to make out the big buck, but the thing attacking it is a wolverine. Look at that wolverine jump and latch onto the deer. I mean, it's incredible. You can see the deer trying to shake him off, using his hooves to pry him down. I'm blown away by the aggression of this wolverine. Yeah, I've seen the movies, but this guy is on another level. Wolverines are omnivorous, eating plants and animals. They regularly feed on birds, rodents, and the like. In the winter, when food is more scarce, they'll scavenge from moose and elk kills, and they've even been known to steal from bears and wolves. It doesn't look like there's much to eat here in this harsh winter. So this guy seems to have taken matters into his own hands, and he's determined to take this buck down. The uploader posted that the wolverine eventually gave up and the deer ran off. And so did he. He didn't want anything that the wolverine was offering. In this clip, taken from a wildlife cam, we see the instance a bald eagle swipes 3 osprey from the safety of their nest. The owner reported that the mother and father are usually very close by and had left the nest only minutes before this took place. Just another highlight of how brutal the animal kingdom really is. I recently shared a photo from a trail camera. It was a picture of a coyote that had stolen a trail camera. Well, I think I might have found the lost footage. If not, we still get to see what it most likely looked like. Check this out. Okay, so this next clip is very, very strange. I'm going to play a piece from the original video where he gives his take on what happened, and then we'll watch the actual footage.
Call the deer tame, call it whatever. It's clearly focused on something to the left. What is happening to the left? No clue. But we have heard plenty of encounters where deer have gone to a hunter in what seems to be an attempt at finding protection from a cryptid that the hunter has yet to see. There have been many stories about deer running up to people and seemingly being scared and exhausted, fleeing from something.
As the deer enter our sight, you can see the deer in the background are absolutely focused in on something to the man's left. They are intently watching. The man calls out, makes a noise, breaking the deer from their trance, and they notice him. Now look at what happens next. The deer start moving around, then one of them heads right over to the man. You can see as the man puts his gun up because, well, he doesn't know what the deer might do. This is one of the most off-the-wall things for a wild animal to do. The man even pets the deer and starts to laugh. All the while, the deer is locked into something on the left of the screen. What's going on over there? I wish we could see the area that they were looking at to see if we could see anything. Now, the person who wrote the transcript at the beginning of the video was adamant that this was not a big cat. But I'm not so sure. I think it could have definitely been a big cat. He declares no deer could hear a big cat on the hunt. Well, that's probably true most of the time, but big cats are heavy. They aren't totally silent. They have to walk. I do, however, agree with him that it could easily be a cryptid of some type. Animals are known to do some strange things when in the company of cryptids. This deer acted completely out of the norm, and as was mentioned, the deer sought refuge from a hunter with a gun opposed to whatever else was out there. That's significant. Another possibility, and this is a growing problem in the United States, is CWD, chronic wasting disease. This is a disease that affects deer, elk, moose, etc. It's a neurological disease and makes the infected do some weird things. In the area where CWD has popped up most, these people have started to call them zombie deer. I actually did a video clip months ago of an infected deer, and it was pretty creepy. Anyhow, I'm extremely interested in what you guys think about all of this. Any and all ideas of what had the deer's attention, a big cat or a Bigfoot, and also, what's up with the deer walking straight up to the guy? Man, I'm interested if anyone has had any experience with something like this. Similar to a video I posted a few weeks ago, we see some amazing acrobatics from another big cat. On safari, a couple took this amazing video of a leopard chasing a monkey up a tree. And as a last-ditch effort, she does a backflip and snatches the monkey, falling out of the tree as she secures the prey. Let's watch the backflip again in slow motion. Just incredible athleticism. Taken in Colorado, the submitter of our next clip explains that the land that backs to his property is chock full of wildlife. And I think we're going to get a good look at that. For that reason, the owner has his camera at the ready at all times. And one day, he spots some bear cubs that have climbed up one of his trees. And seemingly out of nowhere, a baby fawn just jumps over the fence and shows up. The fawn notices the bear cubs and goes over to investigate. However, unfortunately for the fawn, Mama Bear shows up. And she's pretty happy about her luck. The bear takes off after the fawn as she tries to escape. The man even yells at the bear from his deck, trying to distract her, but to no avail. The deer takes a jump to try and clear the fence, but doesn't make it. That little misstep is going to cost big. I'll end the clip there, but the mother bear has an easy meal for her and her children. This next clip comes from a movie producer who was filming out in Arizona. I'm just going to read this as the excerpt was written. Today, we are filming again in the great state of Arizona, and we just so happened to witness a heart-wrenching encounter between a small brown bear and a moose calf. As we were filming, we heard the cries of a baby calf and rushed to see what was happening. To our horror, we saw a small bear attacking the baby. Luckily, the calf's mother was not too far away and came running to protect her baby. The mother moose was bravely kicking the bear with her hooves, scaring it up a tree. For a moment, we thought the danger was over, but you could tell the bear soon realized that the mom posed no real threat and resumed attacking the calf. The bear couldn't get all the way to the calf. The calf had hidden under a fallen tree, and luckily the tree shielded it. As the bear became more aggressive, you could tell that the mother elk had had enough and charged the bear. As the bear scampered up the tree, the calf finally stood up. Its mother quickly ran away with it, but the bear was not willing to give up that easily. We watched as the bear pursued the mother and the baby. He was determined to catch his prey, and we thought he was going to, but he eventually gave up and turned around. This was a scary encounter that left us in awe of the bravery and resilience of the animal kingdom. And we're all grateful that everyone is okay, and to have witnessed such a rare moment in nature and be able to share it with all of you. Man, that really was a crazy encounter. I'll be honest, I thought that calf was done for. But as we've said before, never count a mother out. Not when it has anything to do with her babies. This next clip is both unusual and tragic. It's very unusual to see a predator and prey both dead in the wild, especially when it's clear that the predator was in pursuit of this prey. Generally, you see one of three things happen in such situations. The prey becomes the predator's meal, the prey escapes, or the prey stands its ground and the predator retreats. However, in this case, neither of these three scenarios took place, and there is no winner. Instead, the raccoon apparently ran up a tree with the coyote chasing it. Trying to get the raccoon, the coyote's paw got stuck in the trunk. Although this should have allowed the raccoon to escape, it remained in the tree out of fear of being eaten if it came down. The coyote tried to free its paw. You can see the bite marks on the tree and actually on the paw, but he couldn't. And unfortunately, both animals eventually died right there. At least, that's our theory. What do you guys think? This photo was taken only 3 miles away from the mystical waters of Toledo Bend Lake in Louisiana. A lot of viewers had ideas about what could be in the photo. Some thought it was a hyena, a coy wolf, or a chupacabra, while others went as far as to suggest that it could be a new species created by the government. The photo was forwarded to Dr. Jim LaCour of the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. After further analysis and careful consideration, he determined that the creature was a mangy coyote, suffering from demodectic mange, an inherited condition caused by an immune deficiency against mange mites. These particular type of mites are not transferable to humans. All in all, it turned out that the creature was not a chupacabra, but merely a sad-looking coyote with a medical condition. The news was most disappointing for those hoping for a glimpse of this mythical blood-sucking creature. Here we see the sleepy German Shepherd and his owner just relaxing on a concrete pad, assumingly at the back of their home. All of a sudden, the pooch wakes up and starts barking at his owner. The owner is too engrossed in her phone to pay him any mind, but the dog isn't giving up. He starts to pull on her dress, and he keeps doing it. You can see the lady is getting annoyed with the dog's persistence, but as he pulls her away from her seat, we see a big branch fall right down on the spot she was sitting. Well, she seems appreciative now, glad she's safe. I truly believe that animals have a sense humans don't. Or maybe some of us just don't tap into it. For this next clip, I'm a little bewildered. I'm not sure what to think of this. I'm not sure if this is just a glitch, clever camera work, or if these really are supernatural beings caught on camera. They don't move or walk as a human would, and the trail of wispy fog behind them, that adds another level of creepiness. I guess this could be some type of double exposure or something, but none of the surrounding footage seems to be affected. The two figures seem to be lurching forward with a little hitch in their steps. Even if it is some type of camera glitch, who, or whatever it is moving very strangely. And yeah, this would be very creepy to find on your security footage. Let me know what you all think this could be. If it is something just normal, then what is it? Both the lynx and the coyote are native carnivorous species that coexist in North America. As they share habitats, there are occasional conflicts between them, mostly caused by competition for resources, especially food. In this video clip, a lynx is seen trying to take over a coyote's kill, which is a common tactic known as poaching. However, these two have been at it for over a week. They keep fighting and tussling. Every time the coyote comes back to the carcass, the lynx is there to greet him, so to speak. You can see as they flip and flail all over the ground. The lynx is tough, but the coyote stands its ground and refuses to back down, forcing the lynx to eventually back off. Now, these two are probably pretty evenly matched if they had to really hash it out physically, but it doesn't look like it's really going to come to all that. Such interactions are typical in the forest where animals compete for limited resources. I love witnessing these events. It provides great insight into the intricate dynamics of the natural world. This next clip shows my beloved mountain lion in a pretty tough predicament. As you can see, a pack of hunting dogs has her pinned under what looks like to be a bridge of some sort. You can see the water in the background. The dogs can't get to her, so all they can do is bark. You can tell they have GPS tracking collars. I'd be interested if they were actually hunting this lion, or if they were hunting something else, and this just got their attention. Let's go through a little scenario. It's the dead of night, absolute darkness. The sound of snow crunching catches your attention. You cautiously emerge from your tent and are greeted by almost 24 glinting eyes staring back at you. This is what a man's trail camera captured in the Canadian wilderness. With the wolves focused on the ground, it's evident that they are tracking a scent. Despite the motion sensor light going off, this pack of wolves remains unfazed, and their steely composure is a little unnerving. What are we doing here, folks? Do we just sit and watch? I think that's all we can do. In this next video, a man has stopped on the side of the road to film a moose when he notices something off to his left. The moose is obliviously standing there, and the rake is on the left side of your screen. A rake is a type of cryptid that is said to resemble a hairless canine with an elongated body and limbs. The creature is usually described as being very fast and agile with sharp claws and teeth. The name rake may have originated from the creature's alleged habit of using its claws to rake or scratch at the ground or trees. Reports of the rake are often associated with sightings of Bigfoot or other mysterious creatures. Researchers have speculated that the rake may be a type of genetic mutation or a new species that is yet to be formally identified and classified by science. What do you guys think he's doing out there? This clip shows quite the mismatch here, as a coyote has wandered onto a residential porch where he meets the family cat. Despite being only half the size of the coyote, this spirited cat is not backing down. It's ironic the saying scaredy cat, because a lot of the cats we see here aren't scared of these much larger predators. When the cat realized his luck might be running out, he scampered up the post near the roof and waited there till his owners came and got him. This next video takes place in Torreya State Park in Florida in 2012. Stacy Brown Jr. and his father were camping when they heard some strange noises. They decided to investigate. Stacy Sr. takes out his night vision camera and points it out into the darkness. And what he saw sent shivers down his spine. A massive creature with enormous hands and feet. The video shows footage of the creature captured on the night vision camera. Stacy Sr. is a former Army Ranger, a seasoned combat veteran, and he decides he's getting the heck out of Dodge. Stacy knows he and his son are out there in the middle of nowhere, and if things start going sideways, no one is coming to save them. Stacy went on to say that he's been in some scary situations, but none of them compare at all to this. Now, the authenticity of this footage is questioned by some, with a biologist saying she would be willing to bet that this was just a man in a hairy suit. But another image analyst was quick to point out that the heat signature is consistent with a naked creature. The Browns try to determine the size of the creature by retracing its steps and measuring its stride. They estimate it to be a little over 6 feet tall with a very large stride. Let me know what you guys think about this potential encounter. My 2 cents is the guys seem believable, Stacy Sr. and Stacy Jr. But at the end of the day, you never know anyone's motives, so I want to know what you all think of this. Let me know in the comments. Coyotes are opportunistic predators that are capable of hunting a wide range of prey, from small rodents to large mammals. They are known for their adaptability and versatility in hunting, which allows them to survive in a variety of environments. Coyotes are primarily nocturnal hunters, although they may also hunt during the day. They use their keen sense of smell, hearing, and sight to locate prey. In regards to raccoons, they are not a primary prey species for the coyote. However, raccoons are generally more active at night when coyotes hunt, and it makes them a little more vulnerable to coyote attacks. And while this video looked like the raccoons were done for, the owner was happy to post that all the raccoons survived. Now, our next video claims to catch multiple Sasquatch vocalizations. Now, let's take a listen to what was recorded. I'm no Bigfoot expert, so I don't really know what it would take to authenticate this. Pretty cool nonetheless. The segment is 12 minutes long, and I'll link it in the description for those that want to watch the whole thing. Our next clip is pretty incredible. This is Max, and he's up against a battle in his own backyard. As you can see, little old Max is surrounded by 3 coyotes on the turf of his Highland Park, California home. You see him standing his ground as the coyotes attempt to move in. The coyotes are very interested in snatching this cat and making a meal out of him, but Max isn't having it. He's actually a pretty big cat. No match for 3 coyotes, but don't tell him that. Max's owner explained that she and her husband were watching a movie when she caught something out of the corner of her eye. When she got up to check, Max was fending off the 3 coyotes. Very impressive. This story is a good testament to sometimes needing to bring the fight to the aggressor, bring the fight to the bully. Show some courage and step up to the danger when they think you're going to fold. Anyhow, awesome camera footage and story, and we're glad Max is okay. A very inside look into the animal kingdom here. This mother bald eagle was perched on her nest when she noticed something and flew away to check it out. Upon returning to the nest, an unknown adult eagle followed her and landed on the tall perch, merely feet away, and he just sat there. Mama eagle threw out some warning calls and then went to keep her eggs warm, all the while continuing to give off warnings as the intruder dropped down closer to the nest. After staying on that perch for over 17 minutes, the intruder attempted to enter the nest, prompting Mama to get up and wing slap the intruder, chasing him from the nest. The unwanted eagle kept returning, but she persistently gave off warning calls and fought him off. Eventually, the intruder figured it probably wasn't worth it and flew away. This hunter captured a rare albino turkey on his trail camera. The man said he's lived in the same area for 20 plus years and never seen one. Albino turkeys are considered to be relatively rare compared to other breeds of domesticated turkeys. While there's no exact number available, it is estimated that only a small percentage of turkeys are born with this genetic mutation. They have all the same physical characteristics and behavior as other breeds of turkey, but obviously their white feathers make them stand out. In the wild, albino turkeys are at a disadvantage because their lack of coloration makes them more visible to predators and hunters. Nevertheless, really cool trail cam footage. This still pic is just a really ironic and funny photo all around. A trail camera capturing footage of a coyote carrying a trail camera in its mouth. Good stuff right there. I'm hopeful the owner was able to find the stolen trail cam and get the footage off of it. Talk about a front row seat to the wildlife world. This clip was taken from a farm where, you probably won't believe it, but these deer and raccoons normally interact and are quite peaceful. But as this 8-point buck stumbled upon a group of chubby raccoons stealing his corn, he was pretty annoyed. And he was determined not to let any of them get away with it. As he loudly grunts, he pushes them out of the way and claims the pile of corn for himself. The farmer suspects the deer was just amped up because, like I mentioned, these guys usually interact quite well. I guess it turns out bucks don't like to share when they're looking to bulk up for the upcoming rut. Despite the buck's aggressive display, the raccoons were undeterred and continued to try and get in on the free meal, which, as anyone who has seen them diving into dumpsters for dinner can attest. But I'll leave you with this warning. It serves as a reminder of the intolerance of some male deer when they are pumped full of testosterone during the rut. Recently, in a park in North Carolina, they attacked a dog and even a person, so it's important to keep your distance during this time. This next clip is more on the extraterrestrial paranormal experience side. Because on this particular night, something really strange occurred on a property. It was a peaceful evening with stars shining brightly in the sky, until the homeowners noticed a bizarre light beaming from the left side of their front porch camera, which went on for hours. It's unclear what this haunting light could be, but it certainly doesn't seem natural. Is it just a malfunctioning light somewhere, maybe from a stadium? Or could it be a sign of an alien visitor? When the footage was shared on Reddit, most online commentators leaned towards the latter. In recent years, the US government has taken UFO sightings more seriously, and a new report reveals that US troops have reported hundreds of sightings across the country. In fact, the US National Intelligence Office is now aware of 510 reported sightings, which is over 100 more than the previous year. But despite the increase in UFO sightings, we still have no explanation for what they might be or where they are coming from. Could these lights be evidence of alien life? We can only speculate, but one thing is for sure, it's an exciting time to be alive. Are you a believer? Let me know in the comments. A couple traveling down a highway noticed a coyote just barking in the middle of the road. They figured, what the heck, we'll stop and take some video. And this is what they caught. Look at how huge that mountain lion is. Wow. I'm just going to leave it at that. If you've been following my channel for any time at all, you know how I feel about these magnificent creatures. Anyhow, the coyote is pretty upset about this lion, but eventually leaves him be and heads off down the road. In this clip from last year, we see a fox climbing a tree. Yeah. Now, I didn't even know they could climb trees. Sure, I thought they might be able to shimmy themselves up a tree, Maybe that tree was on an angle or used the branches to step and pull their way up. But that's not what's happening here. This guy's running straight up this tree. I did a little digging and pulled this quote offline. And when asked the question if foxes can climb trees, the wildlife specialist says, quote, "Yes, foxes are able to climb trees. While they are primarily ground-dwelling animals, they have been observed climbing trees to escape predators or to reach prey such as birds or squirrels. Foxes have sharp claws that allow them to grip onto the bark of trees, and their lightweight and nimble bodies make them well suited for climbing. However, they are not as adept at climbing trees as some other animals, like squirrels or monkeys." End quote. A few videos back, I posted coyotes climbing trees. Check that one out if you haven't seen it. But this is also very impressive. This heartwarming incident reminds us that passion and kindness still exist in this world, despite all the negativity and chaos. The guardian angel in this story could have easily just looked the other way, but instead, he heard the deer's distress and chose to help out and guide the deer to safety. A good reminder about the power of empathy and the impact that even small acts of kindness can do. A dehydrated leopard found itself in a dire situation when it got its head stuck in a metal vessel of some sort. In an attempt to free itself, he actually made it worse. The leopard struggled, but unfortunately, it was too disoriented. As it wandered aimlessly, it stumbled upon a busy road where it sat helplessly, hoping for someone to come to its rescue. Luckily, some compassionate passerbys noticed the leopard and quickly alerted wildlife rescuers. The rescue team arrived promptly and cautiously approached the distressed animal. Despite being scared and in pain, the leopard remained calm and allowed the rescuers to handle it with care. After a successful rescue, the leopard was released back into the wild. In harsh winter conditions, animals not adapted to survive can struggle to find food and navigate this frozen terrain. This lone deer was left behind. He was attempting to cross the frozen river for survival, but didn't make it. Luckily, local workers rescued him just in time, and now he's receiving the care he needs. Just an amazing camera capture. Upon witnessing a colt trapped in the muddy terrain, the group of fishermen quickly took action to offer their assistance. However, moving the 30-kilogram animal would prove to be a challenging task. Although it was hard, the fishermen persevered and employed all their strength and skills to successfully reunite the calf with its mother. Chernobyl remains one of the world's deadliest places, as the area is still highly contaminated by radiation, preventing residents from returning to their homes. Despite this, nature is slowly trying to reclaim the city. Many of the creatures residing there are tragically suffering from the effects of radiation. A private drone scanning the region recently captured footage of a moose, which at first glance appeared to be a typical animal. However, it soon became apparent that this was no ordinary moose. As the animal was observed racing over the road and into the woodland, it became clear that its head was missing, leaving only a short stump where it should have been. Even decades after the tragedy, the radiation levels at Chernobyl are continuing to have a significant impact on the local wildlife. It is unknown what other malformed creatures may be hiding in Chernobyl, but this headless moose is certainly one of the most unusual and unsettling sights ever to be captured on camera. On this channel, I've highlighted a few of these raptors, or birds of prey as some refer to them. Honestly, mostly just because I'm blown away by how they hunt and their precision. I mean, they are absolute savages. In this clip, we see an eagle and its eaglets in their nest on the side of a tree. All of a sudden, boom, the strike happens. A horned owl has snatched an eaglet from the nest at warp speed. I used to always think of owls as bright-eyed and cuddly, The horned owl, also known as the great horned owl, is a stealthy hunter. They are known for their toughness and adaptability, and are one of the largest and most powerful owls in North America. They have a formidable set of talons and a sharp beak that they use to catch and kill their prey, and they are fully capable of taking down prey much larger than themselves. This next trail camera footage is from the state of Ohio and was shared by Russell Morris. The caption he wrote suggests that it may be a Sasquatch foot. Given its features, fat toes, no arch, and a hairy leg that does not resemble a human's, he may be right. The motion detection on the camera was activated at 3:27 a.m. and it captured exactly what the caption describes. The trail camera, which was hidden and low to the ground, recorded a 5-toed foot walking by, and the owner was apparently unaware of its presence. The leg hair hanging down from the foot confirms that it is definitely very hairy, no doubt about that. Additionally, the fur doesn't look like it belongs to a bear, and it lacks the characteristic features of a bear's foot. One of the peculiar things about this foot is that all of the toes are almost the exact same size, unlike a human foot, which has a distinctive big toe. The unknown foot seems very symmetrical, which is strange in itself. So the question remains, is this a human foot, a hoax, or an unknown creature? One of the craziest phenomena to hit the internet these days is the possibility of unknown creatures living in caves. For those that don't know, living in caves is not as uncommon as you might think. In remote and isolated regions of Tunisia and Turkey, homes have been carved into the rock of the area for centuries. But those aren't the people we're talking about. We're interested in the unknown creatures that might be inhabiting these hidden places. Let's take a look. As the video starts, we see the glowing eyes of something that just doesn't seem quite human. And then the video of the horned monster actually really creeps me out. Looks like a Gov't cryptid if you ask me. Years ago, skulls of over 70 plus people were found inside a cave. Now maybe that was a deceased colony of people, or there was something more sinister going on. I'm not sure. What do you guys think about the possibility of these creatures being in caves? The animal kingdom can be a brutal place, where survival of the fittest is always in play. As most know, male deer are known to engage in fights with their antlers, and a recent discovery caught on a trail camera has taken it to another level. In a snowy scene, a deer appears to be walking by, and upon closer inspection, it's clear that this deer is carrying the entire skull, antlers, and all of another deer on top of its antlers. This grotesque image is both unique and a little unsettling, and it shows the extent to which animals will go to live. It's no wonder that the animal kingdom is known as being fascinating and a scary place at times. Some viewers have suggested that the deer was parading around with the head as an intimidation technique. I don't think that's true. I think he's just trying to survive. On a beautiful day in a ski resort in Japan, out of nowhere, a wild pig or boar came charging out of the woods. The boar veers off and heads right for a snowboarder, knocking him on the ground. The snowboarder smartly fought back and was able to fend off the wild pig with his board, and the pig eventually ran off. The Japanese ski resort actually posted the video, At first, they didn't believe the snowboarder when he told them a wild boar had charged at him, breaking one of his bindings. But after seeing the video, they were blown away and delighted to replace the man's board. What would you guys do in this situation? Oftentimes when you see one boar, you see a couple, so thank goodness the rest of the family didn't follow him and join in. Anacondas are the largest snakes in the world and can reach lengths of up to 30 feet and weigh over 550 pounds. While anacondas typically prey on smaller animals such as fish, birds, rodents, and other reptiles, they've been known to take down deer, hogs, caimans, and smaller livestock. This farmer had been wondering who, or what rather, was taking his chickens. So he rigged up a trap, and what he caught proved to be a little more than he bargained for. This farmer has built a homemade trap and lured this massive anaconda into it. Baited by a chicken, the snake sees this easy meal too good to be true. I'm impressed the trap caught the snake, but now for the hard part. I wish he would have kept filming so we could see him get that snake out of that thing. Unbelievable. This is just a ridiculous video here. As we watch it again, it shows a leopard chasing a monkey through the treetops, falls to the ground, goes back up an adjacent tree, then leaps and grabs the monkey. This skill and athleticism are unbelievable. Wow. Animals are incredible. A bit of a late trigger by this trail camera, but you can see a big cat, a mountain lion, jumping off the screen to the right. That blowing noise you hear is a distress call from a white-tailed deer when danger is near. Well, I guess she was correct. There's a healthy mountain lion leaping off the screen. You can see the muscles popping off of it. This guy Michael has an awesome YouTube channel. The scenery in Arizona and this spot in particular is just beautiful. Another clip from him, this is just a cool one to see. The coyote walking across the bridge in the pouring rain. I mean, it's dumping buckets. This is a good reminder of how tough and resilient these animals are. They have to contend with all types of conditions. A cute video here, this little fella just enjoying a drink from the watering hole. If you look in the background, you can see what looks like a much bigger pig back there. That guy looks huge. And looky here, we have a lot of numbers here, a pretty big pig family. You can see a couple of the piglets trying to nurse off mom. In both of these clips, you can see the pigs notice the cameras. They must be pretty aware creatures. I'd be interested if anybody had any insight on that. Almost 4 years ago, an Australian man was driving through a deserted forest at night when he noticed something strange run in front of his car. Initially thinking it might be an animal, he stopped. He didn't want to hit it. But when he realized it was definitely not an animal, more specifically an animal he recognized, he got out his phone to record it. And what his camera captured sent chills down his spine. A pale-skinned humanoid creature moving swiftly on all fours appeared in the headlights before disappearing into the darkness. This is definitely sketchy. Sometimes I forget that these people are experiencing these things in real time, real life, while I enjoy these videos from my phone or computer. And they have to be pretty scared, acting on the idea that all of this is real, of course. Anyhow, despite sharing his video, the creature remains unidentified. Some speculate it could be a skinwalker or some other type of humanoid. What do you guys think of this clip? Is this real, or is this just another well-orchestrated hoax? In New Milford, Mary and Hammy, two giant pigs, gained notoriety for their bravery when a hungry black bear paid a visit to their pen. As the bear is investigating their enclosure, you can see that Mary didn't seem too worried about the bear. After 2 attempts, the bear managed to climb the fence and drop inside. But Mary wasn't having any of that. She charged right at him. Hearing the commotion, Hammy rushed out of the hog house and charged the bear, eventually backing him into a corner. After a few tense moments of staring, the bear hopped out. These types of videos and interactions always make me wonder, why didn't the bear just maul both of these hogs? I know most predators want easy prey and don't want to risk injury, but these hogs don't stand a chance. They're already locked in a pen. I'm sure the pigs being aggressive helped stave off the attack, probably caught the bear off guard. Nevertheless, I'm glad the pigs are safe, and the owner reports that the bear eventually left and hasn't been spotted near the pen since. A UK man captured some amazing footage of a surprisingly agile little fox in his backyard. The man's security camera had captured this fox a few times, but the footage wasn't very clear. So one day when he was in his kitchen, the fox walked into his yard. He grabbed his phone and thought he'd capture some video. He was a little surprised at what he saw. The footage shows the fox nimbly moving around on his front 2 legs, seemingly searching for something to eat. The man says he thinks this is the same fox that has frequented his garden before, but he's not positive. It would be interesting to know more about how this fox lives, survives, and its diet. As we all know, foxes rely heavily on their physical abilities to hunt for food, avoid predators, and other essential activities. Nevertheless, this guy or girl has adapted magnificently to the hand it was dealt. A good lesson of resilience for us humans. This picture hit the internet and freaked everyone out, myself included. A man on a river tour of the Amazon took this video of a hairy creature breaching the water and climbing up the bank of the river. He shared it to social media and everyone went nuts. However, the excitement and intrigue was short-lived as the man revealed that this thing was nothing out of the ordinary. Just a harmless 2-toed sloth. Honestly, quite the opposite of terrifying if you ask me. Anyhow, I can appreciate a good pump of adrenaline. This clip originates from an area close to Sequoia National Forest. It was uploaded by an Instagram profile with the username Working Class Sasquatch and features a trail camera video captured this summer. The footage was sent to Sasquatch Chronicles by a law enforcement officer. This was recorded in Northern California, where authorities were in pursuit of unlawful marijuana growers. This trail cam video is pretty unexplainable. And as you can see, two hairy legs walking past, and they definitely don't belong to a bear. As the footage continues, the camera becomes covered by leaves, most likely due to the creature shuffling his feet, or maybe it was done on purpose. Let's watch it again in slow motion. Let me know in the comments what you think of this clip. One idea that popped in my head is that these potential marijuana growers could be dressed in certain disguises, so perhaps they blend in. Let me know what you think of this footage in the comments. This video just hit the internet and is pretty crazy. Taken in Waikiki, you can see as this marlin shoots up onto the beach. Bystanders reported that a few people tried to help the fish back into the ocean, but it was too weak to swim away. Thankfully, ocean security allowed 2 locals to put it out of its misery and take it back to feed their families.